Middleton. Please welcome to the stage, Ant Middleton.
What the fuck is going on this evening? M6 crash, this fucking whole place crashes. Fucking crumble down.
It's Blackpool.
Hopefully that won't happen. We started fucking half hour late, and you're fucking half hour late. You haven't said rest up, come on. My crew owe me about a gazillion press ups, which they will pay after this till 6 in the morning to be there. But listen, anyway, thanks very much for being here. Thanks for your patience. I know it's been a long time coming. It's been a year. It's been happened last year, and due to the pandemic, it's happened now, which I'm truly grateful for, especially in these forever changing times. You know, this talk will be cancelled tomorrow. We don't know. Fucking hell, the way the government are going, ain't got a fucking clue what's going on, have we? Space they are. Anyway, I won't harp on about that. That's a different show. I'll do next year when I'm cancelled. So this is the show of two halves. The first half, I'm going to get quite deep. I'm going to get quite personal. I'm going to be talking about personal change. I'm going to be talking about loss. I'm going to be talking about positivity, mindset. You know, do you possess a negative or positive mindset? If what I'm saying strikes a chord, if it rattles your cage, then yes, I'm talking directly to you. So take note, flip it into a positive. I'm going to give you a few pointers on how to do that. And the second half, we're going to lighten things up. That's why I've got a big fuck off screen behind me. We're going to lighten things up. I'm going to talk about my baby, SAS Australia, a course that I've managed to take back control of. And I'm going to be slating Channel 4. They're not wankers, they're cunts. I'm definitely getting down to laughing. Yeah, so the second half we're going to lighten things up. What we're going to do right now is we'll get deep down and personal. Bear with it. Again, if I'm talking to you and it resonates, then pin your ears back. Let's go. It's worth waiting for, isn't it? That's where your money goes. First chapter, again, I'm going to get deep and personal now. Now, I know a lot has changed in the last 18 months to 2 years. A lot has changed, and situational change is something that we cannot control. Again, situational change we cannot control. Do not try to control it. I tried to control a situation during the first lockdown. The pandemic, I took my hand to social media. Didn't quite work out for me, did it? So, do not control what you cannot control. And situational change, you can't control. Let's go back to World War I. Situational change, you have to adapt. The men and women of World War I, absolutely fucking awesome. Had to adapt, had to overcome, had to move forward. Along came World War II, exactly the same. Situational change, you cannot control. Have to adapt to it, you have to overcome, you have to move forward. And then comes along the pandemic. I sort of categorise it within those situational changes because we've had to change, we've had to adapt, and we've had to move forward. And those of you that haven't probably pressed pause during the pandemic, like, I'm going to press pause, wait for it to pass, and then go again. And you will not change personally if you do that. Now, situational change, you cannot control, you have to adapt. However, personal change, whether that's physically, emotionally, or psychologically, personal change you can control. It's yours to control. And when you learn to control personal change, you can control certain situational changes. It allows you to have that massive knock-on effect for the smaller things that you can control in your life, the situations that you can control, if you can control or you're willing to go there and control personal change. Now, personal change all depends on your outlook on life. I'll say that again, personal change all depends on how you perceive the world. Do you perceive the world through a positive or a negative lens? Do you see the world through a positive or negative lens? Do you possess a positive or negative mindset? Now, I possess a positive mindset, so I see the world glass half full. Everything is half full for me. I'm excited about life. I can't wait to fucking get up. I'm gutted enough to go to sleep. So I'm like that, fucking hell, when's the morning? I want to get up and fucking start moving and start going. Change personally, grow, learn, become a better version of myself. Fucking hell, everything's out there to do that. However, personal change, adaptability, a lot of people press pause on that. Bang, they stay stagnant. I call living in the void, living on autopilot. They just go through life, just surviving really. We're not designed to do that. We are designed to change and evolve like the planet does. A big believer in the Big Bang, when that came along, look how much the planet's changed and evolved. We have done exactly the same, believe it or not. Now when I think of the grand scheme of things, we are a spinning planet in space, and we are the dominant force on there. We are at the top of the food chain because we're designed to change, adapt, evolve. And that's why we're here today. Fucking dominant force on this planet. Again, I find that absolutely fascinating. That's how fucking capable we are. That's how we are designed to change and evolve. Do not press the pause button. Do not stump your personal growth, your personal change. And you will press pause if you possess a negative mindset. Now, the natural default mindset is a negative one. I'll say that again, the natural default mindset that we possess, again, I've possessed it, and sometimes I flip into that every now and then, is a negative one. And that's due to society, social media, the press. Fucking hell, negativity sells. It's fucking rammed down our throat. It's in front of us all the time. And the easy option is just fucking take it all in. So our natural default mindset is negative. And you will know if you possess a negative mindset. And I'm going to mention a few things here. And again, if they strike a chord, just recognise it. And I tell you how to fucking flip that mindset from a negative one to a positive one. Again, only because I've been there and done it. Everything that I've done is through trial and error in life. I'm not an intellect, I'm not a bookworm. I come from the University of Life. I get out there, I fucking commit, I'm not scared to fuck up, I'm not scared to fail. Because either way, I'm going to learn, I'm going to grow, and I'm going to become a better version of myself, and I'm going to change personally. So either way, do not get carried away with the destination. Now, the natural default mindset, negative mindset, one of the factors is fear of the unknown. A lot of people fear of the unknown, i.e. the pandemic. The pandemic comes along, people press pause, bang, fear of the unknown. Stay stagnant on autopilot, I'll wait for it to finish, and then I'll go again. They're just scared to commit, to look around that corner. They're scared to open up a door because they might not see what's behind it. They're comfortable in their safety zone, in their comfort zone. There's no growth in comfort. Fear of the unknown is part of that negative mindset. It stops you from committing, bang, ultimately committing to yourself. Underneath that is the fear of failure, a big one. People think if I fail, therefore I'm a failure. Again, it stops people from committing. So what do? They press pause. Bang, they live in the void, they live on autopilot. Fear of failure is a big one. And again, fuck knows who invented that word failure. But failure is in the eye of the beholder. I truly believe that. I don't look at failure as failure, I look at it as a learning curve. If I commit to failure, either way, I'm going to learn something, I'm in a new space, I'm going to grow, I'm going to change, I'm going to become a better version of who I am. Do not get carried away with the destination. It's all about the commitment phase. And underneath that, fear of not being good enough. That one fucking gripes me because I know how capable we are. I know how fucking capable people are due to the shows that I do, due to the work that I do, due to pushing people physically and psychologically. I know how capable we are. But the fear of not being good enough, again, what do? You press pause. Now, who told you that you're not good enough? The only person that's told you that you're not good enough is yourself. You managed to convince yourself that you are not good enough through negative people, through fucking outside noise, through bullshit. You managed to convince yourself, I am not capable of, I cannot do. Therefore, again, what do? You press pause. You don't commit, ultimately not committing to yourself. And that's the huge bit of flipping your mindset, your negative mindset into a positive one, is commit. Commit to the unknown. I fucking love committing to the unknown. When the unknown comes along, I love committing to it. Because the moment I commit to it, I'm going to find myself in a new space. I don't get carried away with the destination. I find myself in a new space. Whether I decide to continue on that journey or not, I've committed, I've taken the layer off, I've collected 0.5%. I've taken that small positive footstep. Either way, I'm going to learn something, I'm going to grow from it, I'm going to change, and I'm going to become a better version of who I am. Fact. Been there, I work on this process all the time. Again, fear of the unknown, what do? You press pause, you don't commit. It's the same with failure. I failed up to now in my life, and I'm going to fail to the day I die. That is a fact. And so are all of you. You probably don't like to hear that. But all of you have failed up to now in your life, and guess what? You're going to fail to the day you die. Failure isn't a dirty word. Again, failure is in the eye of the beholder. But when you commit to failure, I love committing to failure. I love looking at a task that's so overwhelming. I think, fucking hell, I'm never going to achieve that. But do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go on the journey. I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to start taking those layers off. I'm going to start collecting those small percentages. I'll commit to it. Bang. Right, fucking hell, it's not that bad actually. Collect those 0.5% along the way, those small layers that I've taken off, then I'll commit again. I'll commit again. And I might not achieve what I set out to do, but I've collected all of these percentages along the way, all these positive footsteps in the right direction. Because a lot of people, they fail something, and they think, I'm a failure, and they cut their losses, and they walk away from it. And they forget to collect all of the fucking percentages, all of the layers that they've taken off through those small commitment phases. So what do? I'm going to fail, I'm a failure, they press pause. Commit to it every single time. I love doing it. Because again, I'm going to learn something, no matter what, I'm going to grow from it, I'm going to change, I'm going to become a better version of myself. It's the same with yourself, fear of not being good enough. You know, like I said, you told you that you're not good enough. That fucking gripes me. Because someone else or an exterior noise or a negative person has now fucking paralyzed you into pressing the pause button. And you stop your personal growth, personal change. And therefore, fucking hell, guess where you're going? You're living in the void, you're living on autopilot. Part of the negative mindset. In order to flip that into a positive one, you have to do that commitment phase. Start committing to those. The moment you start committing, then you give yourself the biggest gift. And again, it's only because I've been there and I do this process all the time. You give yourself the gift of self-belief. You commit, you go, fucking hell, it's not that bad, actually I'm halfway through this journey. I am capable of, I can do this. You give yourself the biggest gift that only you can give yourself, is self-belief. Self-belief kicks in, fucking hell, there's not much that's going to stop you now. There's not much that will phase you. I'm not saying you'll achieve everything, but there's not much you won't commit to. And again, those little learning curves along the way, those little percentages, self-belief kicks in. Fucking hell, it's a powerful tool. Once you get that tool, you'll be on a fucking good journey. You know, ooh, whose fucking phone is that? Come on. I'm not fucking carrying on until you tell me. Come on, someone glass someone up for fuck's sake. Yeah, lucky, you owe me 10 press-ups. So it's that commitment phase that's hugely important to flipping that negative default mindset into a positive one. And I'm going to go through some great examples on how to do that in a bit. But there's a toxic mindset that lays underneath all of this. And you're in a pretty bad place. You press pause for a while if you find yourself at the bottom of this negative mindset. So underneath that, you can commit to those, you can flip those into a positive mindset. But once you fall into this toxic mindset, I call that toxic mindset, and again, it's only because I've been there, you really need positive people around you to fucking lift you back up to this commitment phase. Now underneath there is blame culture. Blame culture, you know you're pretty far down there, you need to look around for help to get you out of this hole. Blame culture, you press pause for a while, you stay stagnant, you've lived in a void for fucking too long. Blame culture, it's because of the pandemic, it's because of fucking World War II, World War I. Can you imagine that? Fucking hell, you're in a bad place, it's because of her, it's because of him. And then underneath that, at the very bottom of this toxic mindset, and again, I've fucking been there. Rock bottom of this mindset is victim mentality. Victim mentality, you really, really need to have a word with yourself and really look out for help and ask for help. Victim mentality is like, blame culture is because of. Victim mentality, I am owed, therefore I'm entitled to. Let me tell you something right now, you're entitled to absolutely fuck all. I'll say that again, you're entitled to fuck all. You have to earn what's yours, you have to work for it. And what I mean by that, you have to work for your self-belief, you have to work for your fucking positive mindset, you have to sustain it. You have to work for it. Thank you. Thank you very much, mate. You do. You do. You have to work for it. And once you start working for it, that's when you start rewarding yourself. That's when you start leveling up. That's when you start realising, fucking hell, I can do this. I'm capable of. But when you're down there in that toxic headspace, look around, ask for help, because you're going to need it. And again, it's only because I've been there. And in order to flip this negative default mindset into a positive one, that negative mindset, you see the lens, glass half empty. Everything you see is negative. And I've been there. When you look at the world through a negative lens, guess what you see? All the fucking negatives that are out there. Of course you do. I've been there too many times to tell you otherwise. Negativity attracts negativity. Positivity attracts positivity. Now, in order to start flipping that mindset to a positive one, the first thing you must do, which is the hardest thing to do, the most courageous thing that you can do in life, is to be brutally honest with yourself. Now, that is a fucking tough pill to swallow. To be honest with yourself, debrief yourself. Yes, we all have strengths. And a lot of people play to our strengths, and we get into this safety bubble. We press pause, become comfortable, and again, there's no growth from comfort. But what we must realise is we've got insecurities, we've got weaknesses, we've got fucking demons, a little black box in the back of your fucking head. Guess what? We've all got them. Every single one of us has got them. Anyone that tells you any different is a liar. We've all got them, even myself. You know, I've got the biggest black box in the back of my head, trust me. But I know how to fucking use it. I see the world through a positive lens. And when you're brutally honest with yourself, you go, do you know what? These are my insecurities, these are my weaknesses. Yeah, I've got these demons. Then it allows you to go forward as one full entity. No one can use that against you. Because the moment you're not honest with yourself, and someone brings that up, fucking hell, you allow that 2-3% of who you are to completely engulf 100% of you. Fucking hell, they know what do? You fucking press pause. You stop that fucking journey of self-growth, becoming a better version of yourself. Being brutally honest with yourself is the toughest thing I've ever done. It's the most courageous thing you can do.